Looks like Sara and Nik had absolutely nothing better to do with their time than to sit around and talk about SEO. So naturally, they thought, hey, why not drag everyone else into it too? And thus, this glorious creation was born, a podcast. Now, does it have a name? Of course not. You can call it the Sara and Nik podcast, or perhaps the No Name podcast. Either way, it's pure genius or pure chaos. Probably both. But don't be fooled. These two aren't just sitting around roasting title tags and drinking tea, or spilling it. They're actually very busy people who just happen to really, really love SEO. And since the SEO world is basically always on fire, they decided it's the perfect time to start talking about it. So grab your popcorn and your keyword cannons, folks, because Sara and Nik's No Name podcast is about to begin.
And we're live! Hey everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Sara and Nik podcast. Today we have an additional Nick, Nikos. Welcome on board. Super excited to have you here today. Can you do a quick intro of yourself?
So nice to meet you both finally on video instead of the chats and LinkedIn. So my name is Nick Malekos. I go online internationally as Nick. And right now, I'm the head of demand at Cyberbeat, a cybersecurity readiness platform. Before I was in Lerwords, and I grew Lerwords from a very tiny percentage to a DR. I think I left at DR84 website. So yeah, I built a whole SEO funnel there. But in reality, I do growth. I go agnostic on channels. SEO just was one of my channels that worked very well for us, and I doubled down for years there.
Amazing, Nick. And yeah, we're gonna try to call you Nikos here because we need to not confuse audience. First and foremost, I need to say that it's my big pleasure that you're here. I'm following your work for years, I think, right now, and also as I said, I have amazing respect for Greece community regarding all of the marketing. Yeah, I wanted to double down on your take because Sara and we always preach that SEO is the part of the bigger image. It's omni-channel marketing, always that some company need to grow and to actually reach its full potential. So you had amazing success story. Also, you opted in as I can hear to be in-house member of the teams. So can you just for the beginning give us a little bit of your background, how you end up in growth? We hear that you started building SEO foundation, but then you opted in for growth, and clearly why you find more pleasure, let's say like that, to work as a in-house member and not consultant or agency owner or similar.
So I will tell you, I'm on growth because I get bored. I like to do a lot of things. So I do experiments on my own. Like I do SEO on my personal website. I run my own newsletter. I do social on my LinkedIn. I do my own designs. I try AI tools that are not allowed in my job. Like I do a lot of things because I like to run experiments. I like to get involved with many things. If I do one thing, I usually get bored. So SEO kind of found me out because I was doing different work in media and websites. So my background is educational marketing. Where I studied masters, I was also a marketing assistant for the institute that was teaching me before for a year. Then I went to a media website. So I was managing websites after university. Actually, I was managing a lot of websites. So SEO is part of that, and I was learning on the job. Then I got a job for 6 months to travel with a guy from Cyprus to the UK, being his marketing manager, coordinating the team for SEO. This didn't work very well, and I ended in Lerwords. In Lerwords, I was doing growth from the beginning. Like SEO was like 30% of my job, and The whole time I was there, even if you see my last position as head of SEO, SEO was mostly 50% of my job. I was doing MarTech, I was opening channels, and then we're hiring other people to scale the channels I was opening. Think that the first time on the first year on Airwords, we grew a lot with social media, PPC, affiliates, and SEO. So we were doing all these channels, and I was doing also sales, inbound sales with the CEO until we hired the sales and other people to take over. And email marketing, I love email marketing. It always works.
Amazing, amazing. Also, I can find myself there agreeing with you that if I'm doing one thing, I'm getting super bored. So the point is that we all have diversification, and but clearly for me it was okay, I'm gonna run the agency, so I'm gonna have a lot of different clients. So I will not focus on one thing. We're gonna get back on that question later on. I think the best way to kickstart some information or things about your decision making there, is to actually ask you and for you actually to share with us. You said at any point the SEO was maybe 30% or 50% of the whole work. So how you put first strategy down, what channels to put priority on. I completely agree with you, because my agency was transitioned from SEO only to growth agency, but we love that word organic, because we are not doing paid marketing. So we are actually organic growth agency, and I have a lot of questions to ask you here. But first one would be how you put strategy together, how you decide on which channels to focus the most.
So it depends on the stage. So when I started at Airwords, we are close to 100K ARR, 100,000 a year. It was when they started investing in marketing and growing the company. Now they're in multi-million revenue. I cannot share the information, but so in that stage, it's a growth. You have to test one or two channels, see what sticks and work. Like, for example, in Airwords very early on, back then in 2017, Facebook and remarketing worked like a charm. Still, remarketing works, still PPC works, but it's more expensive. So back then, just by convincing, I convinced two companies to invest in Facebook as a channel in 2017 and spend money because they were not spending like small amounts first, and they saw a return of investment, and they grew. As SEO was something we're testing with content marketing slowly, and we saw that the market was growing, so searches were growing, and we saw a lot of people inbound. Again, back then, because things changed, affiliates were a big thing on the creator industry. There still are, but not on organic. But back then, while we were growing, affiliates were getting a lot of money. And the deals of the learning platforms, the online course platforms, were paying huge amounts of money on affiliates. So I was good enough that I got the first place and the second place, and I pushed a lot of affiliates down. So we're getting directly the traffic instead of paying affiliates for it. This was the selling point. Why get affiliates that, let's say back then there were people were searching Teachable or Kajabi or on an online course platform, on an LMS, and they landed on an affiliate that was showing our competitors on top. So if we can outrun them, we get the traffic, we get them on remarketing, we get them on an email marketing sequence, and we get the client instead of paying the affiliate or losing it to a competitor. So that was the idea. That's how it started.
Nice. Nice, Nick. I like Nikos. I'm sorry. I really like the energy and how you mentioned also that you like to learn and experiment with things. It's I don't know if it's an SEO, if it's something that attracts us to SEO in the like. I know you do growth as well now, but I feel like if the part where you started doing SEO in early on, maybe that's why you liked the industry. I also work in house, by the way, so I can relate to general processes and workflows, and also just heads up, this is I think this is the first time I meet someone from the Greek SEO community, so this is really cool. Okay,
technically I'm in Cyprus instead of the
Cyprus.
Greek. I'm just
okay.
All my friends are in Greece.
Okay. But still, I mean,
Almost
close
the same
enough.
community. Just
Yeah.
I need a plane to go see them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mediterranean SEO,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Okay, so I think what like something because you're in house, and the first thing that would come to mind, how do you navigate working with different teams and different stakeholders, and people have different priorities, and you have your own KPIs and they have something totally different. How do you
Difficult.
deal? Yes, exactly. Yes.
Like difficult. I will tell you something that our common friend Antonis Dimitriou told me. Like I will share his story. So he was telling me that there was one of his teachers, because he's teaching in a local organization in Greece, and one of the teachers was asking why big organizations who have money have bad H1s or don't even have H1s. I'm like, because politics. I don't know. There are so many reasons. Like you have to take some losses, and you have to be a bit political, negotiate, ask, be patient, and you have to pick your fights. I lost so many fights on SEO. Like I remember I had with our first agency once, we did a 30-page recommendations on the website, the first website redesign. The CPO accepted 3% of the changes, like two bullet points out of 30 pages.
I like.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Two. Okay. Okay. That's very
Yeah.
familiar.
Bullet points, not
Yeah.
even pages.
And just you know
Two
what, this is
bullet.
not. Go ahead, Nick. Okay,
Yeah.
there's Nikos and there is
And
Nick.
Nick, yeah. No, I needed to jump in here. Sorry, Sarah, for
No,
cutting
no,
you
it's
off.
okay.
Like, why? I'm not sure, like, if Nico saw, but like, actually, my last post on LinkedIn was super big rant about that. So there is like
Yes,
a
I saw it.
there is a point, because like we have, like, as an agency, a lot of prospects, and we are going to meetings, people talking with us, whatever, and we go at the intro call, and then like the prospect tell you, hey, we have like 10 different audits, and we pay them whatever, and then you get to the point to ask them, okay, but how many of recommendations you actually try to implement? And they said zero. And I'm like, okay, you're spending money for the audits, then like
Not
getting
even
the
trying. Yeah.
and not even trying. And for me personally, like those prospects, I wrote that it's clearly like a big no, because like you're not serious enough about SEO as a channel. We are talking about SEO here, clearly, but like what you also said, it's super like I don't know, like I would get so pissed off that I would probably like break something because I cannot like
No, look,
explain.
don't break something, okay? But I actually, I've seen this over and over and over, and clients actually pay, and sometimes they're on retainer, and things pile up, and they work very slowly. Like, 3 months later, they start working at the things you sent like 3 months, right? And it's just demotivating. By the way, just a side
Yeah.
comment: Antonis is Greek.
Yes.
That no one told me. Okay, then you're the second Cyprus Greek
Yeah, from
person,
from from the Mediterranean. Yeah, SEO
Mediterranean
community.
person.
Yeah.
Yes, SEO
So
Mediterranean. Yeah.
so it depends on the reasons. Like I'm used to working with earlier stage companies, so between 0 to 20 million ARR. Even until 10 is early, until 20 is scaling. So if you are working with founders, especially technical founders, this is my specialty, this is my pain. They prefer to focus on product. So a lot of things that require product developers, they are being delayed. Like I was very good friends with the developers, and maybe I was every 3 months, every 6 months, I was pushing them. Can we do this? Can we do this? Like at some point, I was just keeping the founders internally, and I was asking the developers, and I was getting some wins because the developers will tell you, "I'm busy now. I'm busy now," and then I have 2 hours. I had this exact case. It took me 1.5 years to do one WordPress fix. It was a checkbox I needed. And on the third time I asked the developer, he said, okay, let me check it on Friday. He comes back. I thought it was more time. It took me 2 hours. I fixed it. They could not find 2 hours in 1.5 years. It's about prioritization. The problem is that the team has to accept to have an internal uh, person who gives time on marketing. On there was another pain point, for example. I was pitching with another of the early marketers because I was the first marketer. With the second marketer, we were pitching, let's change the pricing page like our competitors and add the checkout because it's a B2B product, but it's a very low cost B2B. So a lot of people are buying on Black Friday impulsively. If you make them make a trial, go find the billing page, click on the button, choose the plan and purchase, it's 5 steps. If you add checkout on the external pricing, you got the sale. You got a few refunds, but conversions are high. This is something that can increase 30% the revenue of a company on Black Friday. I mean, it's money. It's money on the table. They are not doing it because the priority is make this feature, this feature, this feature, this feature, not the feature for marketing. So you have to have someone who is dedicated, or else it will always not be a priority. I was talking recently when I was in Greece with another guy who was kind of a competitor, the head of market for a competitor. He told me eventually, because of all these problems, I created my own dev team. So I'm doing developer work for marketing. So it's a good idea to have a developer team when you have growth in marketing. A lot of fresh companies, very fast growing, they have developer time or product dedicated to marketing. So on tech SEO, some other people you might know, like Thomas Valuvoyos, who was telling me he was always on the product teams. So he's a technical SEO, so he's on the product team side. And that's how he got priorities because he's under the team of the technical people and the product people. So they give him more time because he's closer instead of the marketing.
I just want to, Nick, did you want to say something before I jumped in? Because I just wanted to comment on something he said earlier, but
No, sure.
okay.
Like,
Okay.
go ahead.
Yeah, I think working in-house, you look, working with stakeholders in general, but it doubles down in-house that you need to be very flexible. You'll compromise a lot, but I also want to say something that I always say. I will be very flexible, but there are things, unless it's like something that is a no in SEO, like there are things that you're just not doing, that you're not agreed, like like if it's something gonna cause, right? And these are not a lot, obviously. You want to build good relationship with people on your team, so you have to be flexible with them. But again, as I said, like you need to balance your SEO recommendations with other people's priorities and their time as well and their queue. And then okay, so how do you Nick, do you have a question or should I jump in? Okay, so how would you
No.
handle I go?
As I said, no. You can.
Oh, okay. So how do you handle an internal conflict? So, and when I say internal conflict, it's not like a heated fight or anything. I'm just saying like there is something you think it's an important priority or something we need to execute on, but then the team just has other things and they think they are more important.
It
Yeah.
depends how stubborn is the person in front of you. Like I lost a lot of fights on good things because my opponent was stubborn, and I got things because I was stubborn. So I take notes. I remember the important things, and sometimes I drop them and I come back. I try to give revenue expectations, so I have things that I come with data. I mean, even if you have data, even if you are stubborn and repeated, and even if you show it, sometimes you lose it because there are people who want to have their own agenda for any reason. So, but you have data, you have your list, you explain the priorities, why it's important, you show them why it's important and what's the win. And if it doesn't work, if they don't do them for a long time, you might need to leave. It might not be a good environment for you. Some people will accept, some no, but I'm really, there is no.
I look, I've worked in a lot of places. Trust me, I have seen my fair share of people who are collaborative, cooperative, and then others who are just not for whatever reason, uh, right or wrong. But I decided, like, or I learned that it, like, if you keep moving, you keep moving, because every place there's someone who's just
Yeah, yeah.
there's gonna be a different way, or someone who doesn't agree with you, one place or the other. And I really think trying to focus on building a good connection with the stakeholders and just doing your best, it is what it is at the end of the day,
Yeah,
helps,
you
right?
have to
Like,
build a rapport early. You have to get some wins, and you have to show them that they win in their job. But again, it depends on incentives. Like, you need to know how to talk with developers, and you need to know how to talk with CFOs, and you need to know how to talk with other people. So CFOs want revenue numbers. Developers don't really care. They want clear instructions. Like, if you tell them, I want a fast website, they will give you a fast website the way they think about it, and it will be a JavaScript site.
so, something as well. Okay, something in general, when you work with someone and you suggest something and they just don't accept it, your next suggestion may actually be more complicated for them because it's built on something that was not fixed from the get-go, right?
Yeah.
It creates like a technical SEO debt. So instead of fixing a simple problem when they could have accepted something from early on, your second option is going to be more, like, as time goes, it's going to be more complicated for them.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just cannot change your mind because this thing needs to be that way, right? Yeah. So look, I'm passionate about SEO, and I always make that clear. And I like, if it was for me, I always like, I would push for everything I want, obviously, but you cannot annoy people to that level. I really care about keeping my job as well. So you need to have a balance, right? And you need to be flexible, and you need to be a cheerful person and nice to work with as well, I think.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You earn political capital as it goes on, and you have to, like. I usually don't like to fight, for example, on home pages or some product pages. I try to say, homepage is important. I want the title to have a keyword, but I don't want to fight with the brand team or the people who decide the brand. It's your screen page, it's brand queries. Even if the homepage is important, at least as us, it's not going to change SEO much if you have two words different.
This type of wisdom, yes, like, you need to be wise, and you see it a lot with, like, SEOs who are new to SEO, like with 1-2 years experience, and someone who's experienced like you, for example. You know how to balance things and when to choose what, versus just like pushing for everything, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying about the homepage. It's a good example. If you take the homepage and the main product pages, you let product marketing, you let brand do their own pages, and then you say, okay, you have 1, 2, 3 pages. These are brand positioning. I cannot change them. I will ask you to put some words, rephrase them a little bit, but I will be very lenient. But I want you to make 1 or 2 pages that are SEO optimized. Like, this is the product, this is how the people are talking. I want you to have your 3 pages and do one for me. And they usually compromise with that. Like, they don't change their idea on the brand positioning, and they allow you to do one or 2 extra pages that will bring the traffic. So you have to come these compromises. Do I lose some part of traffic? Yes, but if I don't do it, I will lose all of the traffic.
That's phenomenal. I really like I think this is the gem. Like, this is the gem for the audience, because I really think that, like, majority of people, like, still working in house, people that, like, actually running agency, and we actually have, like, different guests that covered agency part of the work. For me, like, even at the beginning, I kind of started as an agency guy right away. So this is not applicable for me at all, but, like, I knew that I cannot, like, I think probably that I should skip, like, to mention my opinion on this, because I'm not very political there. But I wanted to just, like, make correlation with agency if possible, because I need to represent agency gang here.
Yeah.
So my point is that at my agency we have like also dev and development or design team, sorry. So we usually also working with early stage startups. Why? That's the point. Like a lot of people ask me like, hey, with your portfolio, results, knowledge, team, whatever, you can like focus on enterprises or like, you know, larger companies, like, you know, more money, bigger retainer, stuff like that. I always love to work with early stage startups, and as you said, like until maybe 10 plus million uh, annual recurring revenue, for me it's a sweet spot. So 0 to 10 million, amazing, that's our client. So the point is that with startups you can always work, as you said, with founders. You can always work when you have like, you know, I remember at one of the client, will not mention the name, but I was like the fourth person, legit. It was like founder, co-founder, that was like CTO, and third person was like product designer or something like that. And I was the fourth one with my team. And then like usually when we were position for SEO, in that in that situation, I legit take your advice there, like and I align with you. So what we do, we leave brand pages for the brand. So like whatever, homepage, about us, whatever. Then we take like product pages or like query, informational, educational part, whatever, on ourselves. So we're gonna like, you know, do that. And with that, I really think that a lot of times we are aligned, but I need to be honest and to admit that we usually work with developers on the website. So we usually like set up everything correctly and fundamentally for SEO. Also, Nick, I really think that one question that I had in mind listening to you explaining this, I don't want that we are super stuck on SEO because again, I think you can share more of the knowledge. But do you have the same experience with other channels that people are super pushy, like for example that you want to start some email campaign or PPC or whatever, and then like people are like, "Oh, no, like we cannot do that now," or SEO is the channel with the biggest like push point?
No, I love email. If I go to a company, I usually tell them don't start with SEO. But the reality is depends. Technical founders are terrible to start with SEO. They should not. If this is your channel, there are industries that SEO is a must. But when I work with B2B tech SaaS, which is my specialty, usually it's when I'm talking with technical founders, they have leads, they have people they talk, and they never emailed once. I mean, I have done it in 3 companies because I was also doing consultancy for more than a year. For 3 companies, they never emailed. I convinced them to email, and they saw immediate results. Just a newsletter can activate your base. So for me, owning your data, owning the conduct of the people is the most important thing. You have to build either the lead magnets, the newsletter, something that people sign up. And this creates brand because you are repeating the touch points. So email is one of my favorites. I cannot say I'm super strong, but it's one main point. I'm doing PPC, but I'm not as good as I was a few years back. That it was like 30% of my job. Usually, for depends on early stage stars have to do sales, direct sales, hit on doors, go to events, go to dinners, send messages on LinkedIn, use email. Depending on the industry, they should use SEO and if they understand the channel, because if they don't understand the channel, they can spend a lot of money wasted. So SEO is a bit complicated. They have to build the basics early, but some people are not good with SEO. They should not do SEO.
Yeah, I agree on this. I just want to comment on the email and the newsletter thing because I run a newsletter, and I think growth in a newsletter is tricky. It works sometimes in things and sometimes it's not. I noticed some people who have a newsletter send out sales newsletter just for sales. I don't do any of this. Like I just send content every time. It's just a style, right? Or I guess a goal or whatever. I think for like I would like to sell my products, but I just don't see an email with the purpose of just generating sales. It's just not my.
No, it's never good. Like
Yeah,
for even
look, it
hardcore.
works. It works. Like I know some people who are selling courses that like they have, for example, so when I started selling courses, I'm not sure if you're familiar. I'm selling 2 courses. So I reached out to a few people, and one of them told me, Sarah, most people sell their courses via email. And then I learned later that the focus is, or the way they do it is, okay, I'm gonna sneeze 1 second. Sorry. Okay. Okay, it's gone. It's okay, I'm good. Okay. Anyways, so okay. This is bad. I'm just
We can cut it. We can
nothing.
cut it.
It's I don't know. Like I think people are used to me sneezing and my headphones coming off by this point. Anyways, okay, it's gone. Good. And then I realized they send a lot of sales emails. I don't send the. The thing is with me and my content and everything I do is I like something in SEO. I want to write about it. I read something. I want to share it, and then I would be happy if someone read that and then bought something or not. But I don't write something. It's rare. Sometimes I do it on LinkedIn, of course. I have to, but it's like as a piece of content, it's hard for me to write something like completely with the purpose of promotion.
No,
It's just I don't
there are
have the
different
energy.
things. So what you're describing on courses are email sequences, nurture sequences designed to sell.
Yeah.
And I don't like them that when they're salesy. Like I wrote on Learwords a lot of those.
But you know what? They sell. That's the
Yes.
interesting thing. People don't like them, but they actually get a lot of conversions. And I don't feel I want to say, like, it's just, I
Yeah,
don't know
but
even
you
how
don't
to,
need,
yeah.
you have to be your own self. So nurturing sequence means that give value up front and sometimes ask for sales. So I have done a lot of nurturing sequences, and the best is that you have to do something on sales early on because open rates drop as you go. But if you keep giving value, people stay and they learn about the long term. And I have seen people, because I was in the long term in some companies, buy 2 years later. So what we do with SaaS especially, and you don't want to just do sales. What you do is that you have company information, events, industry, like a software expert who build a software. Usually they're expert on their topic. So you can say, this is the best news of the industry, 1, 2, 3. This is what we wrote on our blog. We are going to this event. And below, if you are interested in this, get a demo. And what works even better is if in this sequence you add also a line, this is our new feature. This is what we released. This is a demo of our product. This is a video of our product. So it's the sandwich approach, a very big sandwich. You write news, you write your own content, you give value, you have some features, you have a video, you have a quote of your client, like one of them, not all of them, in each email, and the call to action to get a demo. So if you add all of this, it's a newsletter worth reading. And sometimes there is a salesy part. Someone will buy when they are ready to buy. And it's good to repeat it and be there for them. But newsletter is one thing that keeps on brand and engagement. Nurturing is another thing that takes a lead into a client. It's a different sequence. And cold outreach, it's a different thing to add pipeline directly to the people who will buy. So these are 3 different things that it's not email. It's 3 different things: building an audience, nurturing a lead, and reaching out to cold clients.
I think I posted. Did I convert the discussion like I'm the guest now and and the interviewer as well? I'm asking and answering. I'm sorry. This is like a casual coffee chat. We're just talking.
Yeah.
So I posted a poll on LinkedIn to see like how people see my courses, specifically the Python one. Anyways, I was surprised that a lot of people don't know what that course is. I was like, I'm doing a horrible job. I should be focused more on talking about what is this actually. Like, it's something that happens is that when you're so focused in whatever you're doing, you assume or you become blind to people who don't know that thing. You think everyone does, right? And I was like, oh, they don't know what that is. Okay, I need to focus on that. But again, I had to take a moment and pause and I think that I put my passion into what I do. So, and that's what matters, right? Like I'm doing something I like. If some people like it, that's great. And I have a lot of people that join my course. It's not selling a lot right now, but in general, a lot of people joined, and a lot of people on my course are, responsive and leave comments and build projects. And um, I guess that's where I'm happy more than I've never been a good salesperson. So I just have to come to terms with this. You can ask Nick, he works with me and we pitch to clients. I'm just horrible in pitching. And I didn't I got like, ever since I started consulting, I would get a lot of clients and I just don't know how to close it. I mess it up.
Yeah.
I'm sure he knows. So it's just not my thing. Sales is not my thing. And I just came to terms that that's the way it is. And even if it means I'm not selling more, I mean, a lot of people are doing their best and being salesy and they're still not selling, right? Like I see newsletters for a lot of major big name influencers. Some have that number of subscribers and paid subscribers, and then another one has less subscribers and less. It's just the way it is, right? Uh, the most important thing is just to keep doing something you love, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it gives you energy
just,
to do.
just to give you my reasons, like I decided to do LinkedIn and Substack and newsletter and all that and my website, because I like writing, and this forces me to keep learning, because when I'm working in corporate or B2B, usually you have a lot of limitations, as you said. Product says no. CEO says no. They don't say, oh, we don't like this piece of content. We don't like this tactic, or you don't get budget for link building. So you cannot learn if you have limitations. You have multiple clients, one has limitations, the other doesn't have the same. So you learn. So if you're in-house, you need to have this side project. I force myself to write a newsletter because I can go read about the topic, share my learnings, and I learn much faster like that.
And this
So
is the best type of content you can actually get. If someone
yes,
is writing to sell, I think we've all seen this. But that, like, genuine content, that's something you actually read and you like, this is really, yeah. Go ahead, Nick.
yes.
Sorry,
So not all has to be sales.
Yeah, for sure. Like I actually, again, like regarding that part, and yeah, Sarah, in chat, you have like amazing suggestion from Nikos, so you can like check that. And I really think like Nikos, that's one more very, I think, priceless advice, especially for the people that working in house, and that's to actually have like a limitless project on the side. And when I'm like listening, like I'm even more sure. I'm even more sure right now that I prefer like agency work, however like hard and exhausting it is, and it is. It is for me personally like the best way, because we are kind of in control. When someone works with the agency, like when they spending money, they are sure that like they want to get results from that. So also I wanted to circle back. You said that like different founders and different companies should practice different channels, and I completely agree with you. Also, I'm sharing a lot of my experience on LinkedIn, especially. So we had like one prospect that wanted to be present at like top of search results for 5 companies. And yeah, they were selling some crazy good chips for cars or something like that. I forgot, like, to be honest with you. And I was like, okay, but like, is there like bigger market share than that? Like, like no, only those 5 companies are my clients or my ICP, whatever. Their ICP, actually, there it was company from Austria. And I was like, okay, but like, do you think that SEO is great channel for you? Like, do you think that like those decision makers will like really go on the SERP and search for that? And all jokes aside, like we even got those kind of prospects, and clearly as an agency we cannot take those prospects, because we like keep our reputation, and we cannot like take the clients that we cannot like provide any results for. So I really love that connotation, that like for some companies and some founders, that's even more important. You cannot like really do SEO if they don't see the value in SEO. And yeah, I had one question there for you. Do you think that founders, especially because also you're working with early stage companies, do you think that founders see the value of SEO through again, I'm not talking about finance, I'm not talking about developers, I'm talking about founders. So what's the point when you say, okay, like this founder is good to like push with SEO? Is that understanding? Is that understanding of KPIs? Is that willingness to invest? Or what's the point there for you?
So you have three kinds of founders. You have the very technical one, they think only product, they think
Hmm.
only numbers. You have the seller, who they just go out and sell. And you have the marketing kind of guy who understands marketing. That's very rare, very, very rare in tech.
Hmm.
Those are also the ones that are going very big very quickly. The sellers
Hmm.
and the marketers, other than the
Hmm.
technical one. You have to evaluate. It's a bit difficult because very technical founders, they love numbers, but the numbers that SEO can give them are uncertainty. Then they don't like uncertainty. So if you
Hmm.
go on very technical ones, it's very difficult. You have to evaluate that they understand marketing and the value of marketing, and they don't underestimate marketing because it's slow. Marketing is inbound. Marketing is a magnet. It's not a push like sales. So I cannot tell you how to understand who is a good fit, but maybe we have to learn how to say no sometimes. Like we are not for you. It's not good for you. Like in B2B, I'm trying to say a lot of times the volumes are very low. Maybe it's not worth it on some very actually not B2B enterprise. For enterprise companies, usually it's not great. For companies that are sales led, usually it's not a good fit.
Hmm.
It usually SEO is better when there is volume. It's more B2C. It's more SMEs on B2B, small B2Bs. This kind of things.
I absolutely agree with that. I just need like maybe that's like another take here. We actually had amazing success and like Query, my agency, focusing only in relating ROI with SEO. So technically, our KPIs are always like based on us building the funnels on the pages that we build, and based on that funnels, we have different KPIs. Like, and always one of the KPI is leads, because like you need to connect, as you said, SEO with the numbers. And unfortunately, I think a lot of agencies and even SEOs in the world still don't do that. I'm not sure why. Maybe they are scared, but yeah, I really think without the numbers, that SEO is not valuable as a channel.
I will tell you that I don't
Yeah.
know what's the command that Sara is working, but enterprise usually has between 50 and 150 touches if you
Yeah.
really count them all on the research. So there is no way to attribute a lead to SEO.
Yeah.
People will tell you, I did a research recently on our company's Hyperbit on self-attributed data, and it's a lot of people coming from internet sources, but they'll say internet, online, Google, search. I mean, I, search might be Bing, ChatGPT, Google,
Yeah.
Twitter, Reddit. I mean, what is search? Internet, the whole internet. That's very, very helpful for me.
Uh, yeah, I think I actually didn't like share that, but I need to go more in depth. I'm not sure like if you used Zapier, that can be like very nice discussion here. So we used Zapier, and we actually made the touch points to relate our work with the user journey. It is really like, it is not that complex. You need to have a good developer to set up that, yeah, but it is pretty straightforward thing. So what we did, we had like one of the clients, and actually it was like female, so she said, hey, I'm not sure that like we have different projects for her. Like one project amazing, we are earning like amazing money per month, everything going well, and we built that website from scratch, and only channel is SEO, besides Instagram, because she is running that on her brand, but SEO is like the only channel. So we know that like attribution is is ours. And then it was like second one that was like mostly on brand, and she said, I'm not sure that this is working for this property. And what we did with Zapier, we actually mark the steps in the user journey, so we can follow how many uh, paid leads, so as calling like that, or converted leads, had the touch point, for example, with some of the pages we created. That's amazing thing to do. It is like, again, for enterprises, I can say that maybe it's not applicable, especially because Zapier can ramp up the cost and stuff like that. But for us personally, there it was like usually websites with 10 to 20k per visits per month, so it is not like super huge, but again 10 to 20,000 people, it's decent traffic, I would say. So basically that's the point there. But with attribution, yeah, I struggled a lot with some of the startups when I was like with my agency at a closing door, because like they reach Series A, and usually that's like our job is done with them. They hire in-house team. It was like the point where attribution was like only following last click, and you can imagine how bad that is. And what happened there is that for SEO, for example, we get like crazy numbers, and we said like, this is not real.
Okay, this is an opinion, a very aggressive opinion for me. I feel attribution is dying because we are doing
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
We talk the clients wrong. And if you have GDPR, CCPA, new tools, new technologies to block cookies, AI, everything, attribution is dying. So I really like what you're doing. It's exciting. If I was in a company that has few touches, I would have done it. In our case here, I don't want to do it because my opinion is that attribution is bad. We
mhm,
know that marketing basics, fundamentals work very well, and you don't need to waste time and energy on attribution when you do good work. And
mhm.
you have to take some risks. Like I'm in the Team Sul or School of Thought. If you have seen some of his podcasts talking
Mhm.
about
Yeah,
his
I
attribution,
didn't see the podcast, but I see his posts. Yeah, very energetic. Yeah.
yeah. So you don't need to attribute everything. Because see, as marketers, they push us in a corner to attribute, and we have to defend every decision to the CFO. And it's not good because that means 95% of your energy goes to to defending your work and 5% doing the work. If possible, I prefer to do 60% of the work, 40% defending,
Yeah.
because that means you do more things and you go faster. That's growth.
For me, this was like a very good experiment, to be honest with you. And when we showed that, like we were like, actually, you were right. You're right, actually. There, like we were like calm. But yeah, for me, it was like always great. And I was also like a very big like opponent of attribution, especially when we have that messy middle when you cannot like follow the touch points. But yeah, super interesting to share that. And once again, I really think like the points that listeners can like actually take from this is that like you need to be political if you're working in very big companies. You need to like learn that lives go on. For me, that's like the hardest part because I need to get like the stuff done. And what you said, like you need to have like side project to have like a limitless options to test things and to learn things. So that's really like I really think those three things are amazing. Also question there to keep in this direction is like I told you we're gonna circle back to this, but was there any reason you said yes you're getting like boring fast of the one thing and stuff like that, so you wanted to do growth? That's amazing, but why not doing more consultant work? Why not like starting your own consultancy agency? Why opt in for in-house?
Okay. So you said at the beginning you follow me on LinkedIn. I'm doing it for a little over 3 years. At some point, now LinkedIn is dead, like it's killing me. It doesn't push anything. But at some point, almost 2 years back, I had a lot of inbound people asking me if I do consulting, and I was pushing them to some friends and acquaintances. One of them, I sent him so many leads that he's saying, "Why don't you come work the lead as a consultant? I pay you extra, and we start to do. You get some more money through my agency." And actually, I sent him so many leads, so many much revenue. Like he had like 2K revenue on January. I sent him a couple of clients. He closed one of the two. He had 4K on around May. And I joined on June. I brought him two extra K. We were at 6K revenue in an agency. And by August, I joined full time in his agency. And we pushed it up to 20K MRR in 8 months,
Amazing.
8, 9 months. So, but then we lost a couple of clients for a little bit. We had disagreements. And so you probably know partners are difficult. I did my own mistakes. He did his own mistakes. We didn't have the same vision of how to break up. I went a little bit for fractional, but I was burnout. Like I did two burnouts. because I was working after my job until I was working essentially 2 jobs for a few months, and then I moved to having my own agency, and then became fractional. It's exhausting. I like long term in house. I'm thinking a lot to do my own thing a lot of times, but it's not the right time for me. This is the reality. I like in house because I built something long term. And while in an agency, you build the agency, but it's not exactly, the product is not your own, it's not your baby, the website to grow it. It's a bit different. But yes, I always think about it. Like I want to do it. I feel consulting an agency, it's not exactly my favorite thing. I like to be involved in a product rather than be the consultant or the agent. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
why I'm worried. I might you might see me going back at some point, but it's not my favorite thing.
amazing. That's amazing. And also, I really love that. I really think maybe I can again like open you on other perspective here. But I really love. I really think that if you focus with early stage startup, that's very painful for an agency. Trust me. But if you focus on early age startup, you can have that feeling that you're actually growing your own baby. In one moment, you need to leave it because that's like the cycle of things. But yeah, that's very good. And also, my final question for you, and query, I want to give Sarah like a few more minutes to ask you if she got anything on her mind. My final question for you, Nikos, is you said you love product, and then we need to relate each of our episodes to everything that's going on in the world. That's AI, LLMs, and stuff like that. So, do you have any preferences to build your own product, tool, startup one day? What's going on there, and what's your opinion on AI regarding the growth and marketing overall?
So I'm not exactly an AI believer. I'm a little bit AI skeptic. Like I do think it's a productivity tool. It's like Zapier on steroids. Like Zapier did a lot of things. Then you had automations like Clay, and AI is better than Clay. But it's not going to replace us. I don't believe that. It's just going to change things. But I'm not worrying so much. But I'm learning. The problem with AI is that it's so much, it burns you out. You cannot follow. So you have to follow in. I share in the chat, if I can do a screen share just to show you. I'm testing a lot of things. I'm testing with Lovable, and let me see if I can do it.
Yeah, I think you can, Sarah. We have like option for a screen share. Yeah,
I think
we had it before.
you can
We
you
had
can
it
share.
before.
Can you see my screen now?
No, and I 1 second. Okay, here. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now we
Sorry,
can.
that's
Now we can.
Oh, okay. So I built this plugin, the Chrome extension with Lovable. So
No, nice.
let me open it.
Now,
because I-
bookmark all my LinkedIn posts. Like this is just to keep an eye on my posts. I'm just
Yeah.
saying this to the audience, whoever's gonna be listening to this. This is a tool to like analyze my posts and follow me. I'm joking.
I'm working on it, and this gets you here, and you save your posts. I'm waiting to get approved to the next version. So it's called Library. This is my shameless plug for now, even if I will keep with the newsletter.
Nice.
But just to say that I'm trying to do I'm using the tools. I have built mini tools for my website. I have done extensions that I have never done. I tried a more complex project that failed because it needed APIs. Wanted to reverse engineer a tool, but it was too complex to reverse engineer it. And one thing for AI that I want to say that is that I decided recently after the trip of Greece, talking with a lot of people, telling me how good Cloud is. I say, okay, I want to stay on the Google ecosystem because for my projects I pay Google. I paid some extra for Gemini. I have it everywhere. It's not super good, but it's good. But I said, okay, to be honest with Nick, myself, not you, Nick. I have.
I was like going to ask why did you ask him something else, Nick?
Yeah.
I have to be honest with myself. I cannot go back and say I have decided to stay on Gemini and not test Claude. And in less than a day, I tested Claude. I'm in love. Like, it's my new boyfriend.
Claude is amazing. I love Claude. Yes.
Yeah. In 15 minutes, I connected it to my GitHub. It fixed my extension. For 2 weeks, I was fighting with Lovable, and I got my next version, and I'm waiting to be published, to be reviewed. And Claude fixed the problems I had because it got stuck on a couple of features that it was not fixing them correctly. It's so good. And then I was trying something for work, writing emails, writing the new landing page. It's so good. Like, Claude is exceptional. But I also love, and I'm really sad, I don't know about you, Sarah, but at work we have Teams and we're on the Microsoft ecosystem. It's like my heart is breaking every day I wake up and open Teams. And for my personal...
It's a punishment. Like, it's really bad. Teams is just, I mean, if it's at work, you have to use it. It is what it is, right? But
yes.
Yeah.
It's sad, but it's like my heart is breaking every day when I wake up.
I worked on Teams before, and I worked on Google and G Suite, and and obviously you have Teams and Slack. I would prefer the Slack and Google Suite ecosystem versus just the whole Outlook, Microsoft things, Teams. No, thank you.
And if you have seen how Gemini can fix your Google Sheets, your spreadsheets, this is like, for when they say AI, what was my imagination is that I want an engine to fix my spreadsheets. That's what my wish. And finally, a few months ago, it came. So this is the thing. Different AIs have different use cases. They're very helpful. It's productivity. I haven't done amazing things. I have used everything you can imagine, like Clay, a little bit of Gamma, Lovable, Gemini, ChatGPT, everything. I'm not Superman on AI, but they're productivity boosters. They save me a few hours per week. I write code, I write snippets, I write regex for Google Search Console. That's it.
Yeah, amazing. And you have like the tools that you're building. So Sarah, this was like my last question as promised to Nikos. Please like take the mic here, and then like because we are breaking almost 1 hour, so this is gonna be one of the longest episodes. I don't want to, keep
quick.
Here more. Yeah, so Sarah, please
I don't have a question. I just have a comment, and I want to reiterate what you said. Yes, AI is not going to replace us, right? It's definitely a productivity boost. Yes, I agree with this. I think, and I'm seeing a lot of more over and over use cases, even for Claude Code, which I love so much. But I'm seeing people using it and thinking this is not aware of the limitations, and then assuming the output is good enough, and there's a lot of issues with the output. And actually, this is thank you for bringing this up, because this is going to be one of my next newsletter editions. Not next one. Next one I have it nailed down, unless I change my mind last minute. I'm really, it's just about the energy I have. Anyways, towards a topic or something at the time. I'm super happy to have met you, Nikos, and thank you for your time. I think I genuinely personally enjoyed the discussion. I feel it went very natural, and we touched on a lot of things: in-house AI, stakeholder communication, all these sort of things, and growth, and Lovable. I have so many things in my mind that we did go through. Thank you so much for joining us today. And for all those listening, wait for the next episode. Bye.
Bye-bye.